I just found $50 literally in my jeans. Don't fall that hard, wait.
Again, it's very hot. I'm by myself today. We are putting in new flywheel and a new clutch and pressure plate, pilot bearing, throwout bearing, because mine is very bad. Okay, so I got everything laid out here because I lose all of my tools. I got the upper shift boot out. The lower shift boot is very nasty, so I got to get a new one of those. What I'm doing over here is I got post-it notes and a marker, and I'm keeping track of things I need. So I need a new lower shift boot, and I need gear oil. Hopefully that will prevent 1,000 trips to the auto parts store, or I could just order it all online and overnight it, because most of that stuff is reassembly kind of thing, so that I probably won't get to today anyway. With that, I'm going to drain the transmission now, and hopefully it's not too nasty. Then we can drop the drive shaft and just start disconnecting all kinds of shit. Okay, so I apologize in advance for the kind of boring static shots. I'm going to crack the fill plug just to make sure it's not permanently stuck there, and I'm not stuck without any fluid whatsoever. That's not too bad. Cool. Does anybody know what size this is? I think it's a 24. Oh shit. That actually doesn't look terrible, but it looks pretty clean. So we're gonna let that keep dripping. Next up, drive shaft, I believe. So I didn't jack up the back of the car. Hey, over here. So I didn't jack up the back of the car. I only have 2 jack stands, which means I can't turn the drive shaft because it's connected to the back wheels. This top one is going to be kind of difficult to get to. Okay, so the drive shaft is disconnected yet again. We did it! Okay, so it was really hot and decided to take a break and get something to eat. This rope is wrapped around the bottom of the transmission, and it's tied to this rope here. It's tied up. So that way when I drop the front of it, the back of it will still be held up and I don't have to support the entire weight of it. It's a little bit easier since I'm doing it myself. Once that's off, I can either just unloop it from the back or I can lower it down from here. Hopefully that works. Here is each thing that has to come off and go back on so I don't forget anything, along with torque ratings and number of bolts. Some of this is done already. We just have to undo some stuff from the transmission and we can disconnect, unbolt the bell housing. Here's the rope tied around this end. I gotta take out 1, 2, 3 bolts out of the power plant frame so that this can pull out of the way. Somewhere there's, I think that's the neutral or reverse switch. There's another one over here. Those wires have to come out. There's a thing there for something. Slave cylinder bracket. Where's that? Here. There's 2 bolts for that. And then the speedo cable, which I don't know where that is, but it's around here somewhere. That's back here. That's the speedo cable over here. I just connected this by hand. Let that bracket off. I just need to disconnect these cables, which actually doesn't bolt anything. It's just raining shit on my face though. Lens works good as a mirror. Where the fuck are my sunglasses? Safety. Definitely recommend using a flashlight, because even though it's daytime out, it's very dark under here. Also, never touch the back of the flashlight so that you can put it in your mouth. You're not putting fucking grease and oil in your mouth. Ask me how I know. Also, alternatively, you could just not work directly under what you're working on. You know, like you could put your head somewhere other than directly underneath where you are, you know? So if shit falls, it's not on your face. I was under the impression there was a second sensor. There we go, that's one. That's the other. And the sleeve cylinder. So we can take that off to the side. Pretty sure we can start unbolting the transmission. We're gonna do the power plant frame. It's also going to be very loud, so safety third. Power tools, am I right? Alright, I'm pretty sure that can just swing out of the way. Hopefully that will hold the weight of the transmission. Well, there's a bracket here too, and I feel like that's going to be annoying later. No, this whole thing has to move. Now I'm really in the way. I apologize. These are on there. I see now why they say to disconnect the downpipe, because it's very in the way. But I really don't want to do that. I really don't want to. Almost dropped that on my face. I got it. So this is fun. We're having fun now. Well, that's not good. There we go. The slave cylinder's off. 3 bolts in the starter are out. The 2 bolts up top, which are impossible to get off. There's also a lot of things in the way, so you should remove them, like the heater hoses, crank sensor, but I didn't, so I just had to work around them, which is frustrating. There's only 3 left now. This one here, and this one here. I'm gonna take them off now and hope that it doesn't just fall when I do that. I don't think it will. And at this point, I look like a coal miner. He's got a more liberal soak in PB plaster overnight. It's a lovely sound. Can you not? Thanks. Now for the very dangerous, very scary part that I've never done before. Put these 2 back in. And we're gonna move the power plant frame out of the way, all the way. I'm gonna see if this rope will hold up the back end. Which it looks like it does. Shit. This exhaust flange is holding it on. I have to take that off. Yep, that's why it won't move. Alright, so the camera shut off while I was taking out the thing. Since then, I've gotten dirtier. I'll just explain real quick. There's a rope around the transmission. It's tied to this piece of wood. That's really it. Because the back is being held up, it's kind of hard to get the front loose. I jacked up the front just to hold some of the weight. So while that's on the jack, I'm going to lower it down from here a little bit. It's still getting caught in the power plant frame down there. Now what I'm most concerned about is I don't really know how heavy this is. People have said it's not that heavy. It isn't that heavy. Okay. It's loose. It's entirely loose. It's just getting stuck on things now. Go away, rope. I don't need you anymore. So the back's on the ground. Oh my god. I did it. My arm is under it, but I did it. I fucking did it. Hooray me. How do I move you? Alright, so the clutch is out, the flywheel's out, everything's out. I'm going to clean the bell housing, change the rear main seal, and everything can start going back up with new parts. That's empty. This is real nasty in there. It's super gross. Rod bearing. It's so gross. Wow. This is fucking cool looking though. What, the whole transmission out?
Yeah, so the whole transmission goes back in.
Yeah.
You can do that by yourself?
I got it out by myself. Okay, well, that's a lot cleaner than it was. Alright, so again, it's dark outside now, so it's going to be too dark to film. I got the new rear main seal installed. So we'll get this in, we'll get that on. Hopefully get the new clutch and every pressure plate and everything set up. I'll have everything put back together. Alright, I got a light in here because I figured this is kind of the coolest part, at least for me. It's exciting because shiny parts. Okay, that's open now. This is a Fidanza flywheel. May have been obvious from the montage. It's got this nice green thing on it that'll just wear down when you put it on it. I already wiped some off by accident. We're gonna try to get this on. It is much lighter than the old one though. And I know what you're thinking, Steven, didn't you just open the Loctite? Yes, I did. Let me get 2 in so it doesn't swing or sway. And then I'm gonna make sure that all these other ones line up first. I don't know if you need Loctite or if you're even supposed to use it. I read something about whether or not you're using the bolts. I don't want to have to come back down here, so I don't think you can really hurt too much. Just a touch. That's more than a touch. Show the welt here. And then we'll put this one in. I'm not tightening anything down yet either. I'm just putting everything in until all the surfaces kind of meet. Oh God, this just pours out. I tried to make a real tiny hole and it didn't work at all. Anyway, the point of this is now that I got 2 in with Loctite on them, that's now holding the flywheel up, and take out these other ones and Loctite these. This light's very hot. Alright, those are all pretty tight by hand, so we're gonna start real low, say 15 foot-pounds. Make sure they're all seated up in there. Get everything crisscross. Alright, so they're all tight-ish. I need a screwdriver. These aren't the bolts I need. This is going to end badly. Pinch a screwdriver in there, then it won't move. Okay, that one's at 15. Oh, that one was at 15. I fucked that up a little bit. So they're all at 15. Now we'll go up to 70, so they're at 15 now. Let's go 45. It's a reasonable midway point. And then we go up to spec, which is 70 to 75, if I'm correct. RIP flashlight. Before I can move on, I'm just gonna double check all these. That's done. So, stages, crisscross, you're fine. That's on. Oh, I shouldn't have touched that. Ignore the streaks of green. Very pretty looking. If you really invest in like one of those actual crawly things, as opposed to crawling on your back in and out of the car, skateboard ain't half bad. Throw that right in there. Then, no, wait. I'm dumb. Stick it through the clutch first. This side's pretty flat. And the hub that sticks out, so the flat side's against the flywheel. The splines are greased. Got your alignment tool on, and then I gotta line up these little dowel pins. That one lines up, that one lines up, and that one lines up. Nice! So that's in. Well, it's not in. And we're gonna do the same thing we did on the other one. Get one started. I don't know if these need Loctite, but I'm gonna give them all just a little bit of a dab. And like, I don't want any of this shit backing out. And these are, of course, the smaller size. They are 14 millimeter. Flywheel is 17. The flywheel's really important, but I think this one's kind of a little more important. You're not just gonna warp the metal. If you torque one down all the way, you're also squeezing the pressure plate down. So if you're tightening it down awkwardly, you really know what exactly would happen, because it's not supposed to, so. And these are a much lower torque spec, but I don't remember what it is. 14 to 19. I think this only goes down to 10, so that's what we're gonna do. Set to 10. But we're not gonna try to click it just yet. At first, just kind of screw them in until I can't easily screw them in anymore, and then once it like kind of holds the weight of the wrench, so I'm starting to get into resistance, then I move on to the next one. There's just little washers that are like this, and then they squeeze to be flat. I'm getting them pushed down a little bit, so that one's starting to cinch up. And also, as you tighten one side, you're pushing this all down, so what you just tightened before was holding that in, and now this one's tighter than that one, and that one now feels looser. Never be afraid to double check your work. I do it all the time, like on everything. Even if I don't want to, I kind of have to go back and have to, because I didn't do it right. Now we're going to go to 10 foot-pounds, because that's the lowest this wrench goes to. If you ever used a torque wrench before, you probably know this. The lowest end here, down at 10, is really hard to feel and to hear. Alright, so the torque spec's 14 to 19, so I'm going to go to around 18. So that's all of them at what claims to be 18. Then you can take this thing out, Clutch is in. You know what that means? It means we can put the transmission back on. It's not so much that it's heavy, it's just that, like, you see how much room I have in here, right? I guess I can't put this part off any longer. I kind of have to just try to do it. Just to recap real quick, flywheel's on, pressure plate's on, clutch is on, splines are greased, the alignment tool was in there at some point, everything's torqued down in stages and crisscrossed and to spec, Loctite on the bolts, and we're ready for the transmission, which I've just been lying here procrastinating for a while, because it's heavy and gross and I don't want to do it, so we're gonna do that now. I need someone that can help me. It's him. It's this isn't gonna work. Let's pretend I did a cool montage of this here. You know, pretend that happened. I'm gonna set myself on fire. There's nowhere to go. The camera's there, the transmission's here, the car's above me, and there's a flaming hot light behind me. Go away. Go away from me. We're kind of getting there now. Cool. So I got a rope wrapped around the shift turret, so that can take the weight off of the back of the transmission. So I only have to hold up the front of it. And I'm sure you can see enough of that for that to make sense. How the fuck did I even get this out? I hate this. It's getting caught on the exhaust. I didn't remove the downpipe because my exhaust is very rusty and I really didn't want to go through that headache. So now I'm going through this headache to try to get it back up, but I'm determined. Getting the transmission back on. I don't know where I stopped filming on that.
I just went from fourth to third to fourth. Because I wasn't thinking.
I do that sometimes just because I haven't shifted in a while, you know, like I feel like I need to, I just gotta throw one on. I spent a lot of time trying to get the transmission fully seated, and I think the problem was just that I couldn't push it that hard, because I got some bolts threaded, but I never tried fully just screwing them in all the way.
So we did what the internet said not to do, and we used an impact gun.
Yes.
On the bell housings bolts.
It just moved it in. It wasn't an air impact, it's a dinky electric one. I don't think it was overkill, and I don't care. It's on now, and it just snugged right up.
We're just on our way back from Advanced, and we bought a bunch of tools and shit that we didn't really need. Why else would you go to a place that's basically a money pit? The transmission's back in the car, the clutch is in, everything's assembled. We had to buy ourselves a oil hand pump to get the transmission fluid back into the transmission.
We're gonna get some oil in this, and we'll take it for a ride. And we're gonna. It looks like it might rain.
Yeah, it looks like rain.
It's looking like rain.
Another new thing on the Miata, these sweet new LED headlights that it's not focusing. Is this on auto? They've got a black housing, so they match these tinted lights, and they look good overall. Steve, turn them on. There we go. Look at that. It's definitely starting to rain. Okay, so the rain seems to have passed. We're gonna skip doing the valve cover gasket. What's up?
Phillips head screwdriver?
Phillips head.
I gotta put this back on.
And the car's off the jack stands. Steve's reassembling the shifter on the inside. I don't need it, but like, is
a legal requirement.
Headlights go up, headlights go down. It's a nice oil tan. Yeah, you look like you've been tanning. I'm glad I left my doors on today. Yeah, I'm sweating and I'm getting rain wet. Is this all it's supposed to do?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, then it's done. Then I did it. It's done.
We didn't record the intake.
No, we skipped.
No, I fixed the intake. That was just a necessity that had to happen. So we kind of DIY'd an intake. The clutch is installed. The transmission's back in. Everything should work. We're gonna take it for its first test drive.
Time to find out if we forgot anything.
I need to adjust the clutch pedal. Oh yeah, that's stiffer now. Oh, grabs immediately. It fucking grabs. I'm smelling clutch now though.
Yeah, we'll smell it probably for a little bit because it's.
Well, that's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to wear it down so that it's got a smooth contact surface, and that's what the break-in period is. I'm not gonna do any stupid clutch dumps. It's definitely not slipping though. I can promise you that. We have a new clutch in, a new flywheel, a lightweight flywheel, mostly because it's easier maintenance-wise. I could just put a new friction plate on it. I don't have to take it off and have it refinished. I just take that off and put it back on. So that was really the only incentive for that. We got new stuff on the intake, so there's no more intake leaks.
New headlights.
New headlights. Can't see them now because it's nighttime, but
This is when
I
you
don't see
a little
them.
thing that says nighttime, even though it's daytime.
What?
You said it's nighttime.
Now I can actually work on the tune properly because I have a clutch that grabs.
So smooth.
It's so nice. The grab point before was almost completely removed.
Yeah.
There was no clutch left. And now the grab point is like at the floor. I got an overkill clutch for what I needed. It's rated for 200 foot-pounds of torque, or 199 foot-pounds of torque, which I don't need. Further down the line, that should hold modest power gains. It's still like stock. It's an organic, OEM style sprung disc. And it does. It feels pretty similar to stock. My brakes are real firm now too. That's right, because we got the new caliper. I spent a lot of money on this car recently. I don't know if I want to think about all that. No, it's going in and out of gear now too. If I didn't have the LSD in here already, I would have already broken the rear diff with how aggressively this grabs if you just drop your foot off of it. Shift here. That was nice.
Oh, this is awesome.
My speedometer cable's not connected correctly.
Yeah, look how fast we're going. Wow.
I have no idea how fast we're going. This will tell us your speed here.
Nice. What is that?
It's like a dash cam app. There we go. Now we got speed going. Downshift.
That was a nice downshift.
This is the flywheel.
Yeah.
The flywheel is so much lighter. Something's rattling over here. Alright, let's swap.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do anything stupid with it.
Let it out slow and then just floored it, you know? I said I wouldn't do anything stupid. I said I wouldn't dump it or something stupid like that. I feel like it's important to reiterate. It grabs very quickly. Like as soon as you start to lift up your foot, don't move your leg. Just roll your ankle back a little and it grabs.
Okay.
Just in case. See? No amount of warning is enough to prepare you for it.
Rough.
Yeah.
But I like it.
Yeah.
Wait. Both buttons
They
work.
both work?
Both buttons work.
How did you fix that? I gotta get that speedo fixed though. That's gonna get me in fucking trouble.
Just tell them you weren't going faster than 0.
Sorry, officer. I was going 0 miles an hour, so I tried to go faster.
This is fantastic. I'm proud. You did it.
I know you like those.
I love those. That's that shit I do like. It does look kind of dark over there though.
Clutch works. It's officially now a working car and I can focus on doing things other than fixing things. For the time being, at least.
Who are you kidding? This whole car is fixing things?
But whatever's next, we'll have to brake first and then we'll fix it.